Hey guys, we're here today with dear friend John Carmona. Say hi.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us. We're here in his office right off of Sunset and the 215. And today we're going to talk a little bit about home insurance and well, I'm going to leave it to John, but basically, just for your information, John is doing much more than just homeowners. He's doing home, auto, life, business, you name it. He's super professional, great guy, personal friend, highly recommended. Now, let's jump into it. So, John, give me like the thing that everybody think that they know, but they don't really know. Like, what's a homeowner? What he should look into? What's the most important thing for him?
It's a great question, especially for the new homeowners today, the new buyers out there. If you've never had a homeowner's policy, you want to get down to the basics. And the basics, what I would consider the basics, would be your personal property. Anytime you move into a new home, or if you're renting a previous place, you want to make sure that your personal property is kept safe. And not only safe, but covered and properly covered. So what I would take into consideration when moving into your new home is doing a complete analysis of what your values are on everything that you have. Your home, like your couches, your TVs, your personal property, like your jewelry, any clothes, any shoes, ladies, and your handbags, your Gucci's, your Louis, and all that stuff. Take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, if your house were to burn down, how much money would you lose in those things? Because guess what? You have limits on underlying coverage.
So basically, you're telling me that if Rachel, for example, will lose her ring, her wedding ring, or any other piece of jewelry that worth thousands of dollars or whatever, that's going to be covered.
Not always. So
Okay.
that's the thing. That's a great question there. So within your homeowner's insurance policy, you generally have up to $2,500 for jewelries and fur. So if your ring was valued at, let's say, $3,500 or $4,500, we would only cover you up to $2,500 minus your deductible. So that's why I say take into consideration your valuables, the things you've accumulated over time that are near and dear to your heart. You want to get those covered when moving into into a new home, because your homeowner's policy will only cover a certain limit. So it's important to what we call get a personal articles policy. So in a situation like that, Rachel's ring, let's say hypothetically, is worth $10,000. You would get an appraisal. We would bring it in. You would get insurance policy, what we call a rider or a personal articles policy on top of your homeowner's insurance. And from there, it would be its own separate policy.
Okay. And babe, don't get any ideas. You're not getting a $10,000 ring. Okay.
What other piece of information do you think we need to know so that it will help homeowners?
Well, other than your high ticket personal items like your rings, watches, earrings, and any other valuables that are near and dear to your heart, I would highly take into consideration your pets. Some policies out there, depending on what the company is, don't allow certain dogs. For example, pit bulls, Rottweilers are generally not allowed under certain policies. Here at State Farm, we cover all dogs. And what I mean by cover all dogs is we cover the liability of your dog. So if you have a pit bull, which is generally not covered under most insurance, homeowner insurance policies, we would cover you over here if your dog bit someone, or if your dog unintentionally hurt something or hurt someone else. So that would be a strong consideration when doing your homeowner's insurance. Ask them, if you have a big dog, a protective dog like I do at my house, I want to make sure that my homeowner's insurance policy is going to cover that.
That's awesome. I mean, those are things that I never even thought about. I mean, who would have thought that my dog, a girl, also known as Choo-Choo or Chulu or God knows what other name Rachel gives her, will not be covered because she's a certain brand or another, I mean breed or another. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So if it's kind of weird. About a year ago, we had an influx of homeowners because of the dogs that they had, and they generally were pit bull. I had a pit bull rescue lady who essentially rescued all these pit bulls, 39 of them, and her homeowner's policy got canceled because of those dogs.
Wow.
So she came over to me, and then from there, all her friends, since she did rescue with pit bulls, all eventually came over as well because of the coverage that we offer. So something very important to look at. Another piece that I would definitely consider when reviewing your homeowner's policy is if you like to entertain, if you like to have people over, if you don't. This comes into a very, very sticky coverage, and I would call that our liability coverage. If you're not a big entertainer and it's just you and your wife and not too many people are coming over, then yes, I would recommend having a lower liability. But if you like to have friends over, if you have a pool, if you have a jacuzzi, if you have a basketball court or anything like that, you really want to take into consideration your liability coverage. A standard policy will have $100,000 liability. Well, between you, me, and the fence post, let's be realistic, $100,000 is nothing nowadays.
Yeah.
If someone gets hurt, it's $100,000, it's $50,000 realistically just to go to the hospital. Okay?
The medical bills, lawyers, God knows what, it can go to millions.
Out the roof. So, if you're an entertainer and you like having friends and family over, I would highly recommend you have a higher liability, $500,000, maybe even $1 million, because what people don't
Friends, they can
understand
still
is
sue you too if they're hurt on your property.
Yeah, that's true.
so the most important thing, folks, here today is to review your policy. Bottom line, top to bottom, if you have something that's personal to you, the near and dear that you don't want to lose, you couldn't live without and want to replace, if you lost it, I would definitely look into that. I would look at your liability coverages. And definitely look at your pet ownership or endorsement on your policy. To wrap it up today, call me with any questions. John Carmona with State Farm. I'm the #1 agent in town for customer service. My phone number is 702-870-9004. I have a highly professional staff with 25 years of experience. Call me today.
Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you for being with us.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?